What up? What up? What up, Curry Gang? Welcome to Night and Day Talk Media. This your host, J.R. Curry. So yeah, we're gonna do a recap on recent documentary that was released by TMZ on Tubi TV called The Downfall of Diddy. Um, so we're gonna definitely get into this recap real quick of this because I watched the full documentary and man, they pretty much put the nail in the coffin with Diddy on this documentary. So this documentary is an hour and 8 minutes long. So it says the series of lawsuits and allegations have legendary rap mogul P. Diddy on the ropes. TMZ has troubling inside story from people who were there. So they interviewed so it's Harvey Levine, of course, TMZ guy. So he interviewed Aubrey O'Day, Suge Knight, Stevie J, Mark Lamont Hill, Mark Curry, pretty much confirming the things they have witnessed, working with Bad Boy and working with Puff. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna get into this, man. So we just gonna go step by step. I can't play it, but we just gonna kind of like skim through it.
You're gonna be sure, but should not.
So what they show you at the beginning it opens up with with Diddy, them talking about the things that Diddy was accused of over the years. They actually, showed the raids and all that. When his house got raided, they kind of opened up with that whole ordeal.
They got his house. They got his house. A lot of people.
So I'm gonna kind of skim through this, John, because I can't play it because copyright
makes it out of there.
So you got Aubrey O'Day. She was interviewed and asked about her times of working with Bad Boy on Dandy Kane on the band.
Right.
So you have Stevie J opening up about when Diddy house got raided in Star Island. He was there. So he basically said he was sitting out like on a deck or a porch or something like that of Diddy's house, and he said all he heard was a rumbling sound, like a whole lot of rumbling sound was coming. Basically, the trucks and all that pulling up to raid Diddy's home.
Your car might blow up, and other people wouldn't.
Lone voice.
So Harvey, asked Stevie J about the things. Have he witnessed anything as far as like with Diddy, in the parties and all that? And Stevie J basically said the parties we had was more so just having a good time type of parties. He ain't really mentioned nothing about the parties, like the after parties or whatever. But so they talked about Misa releasing that footage of when the house got raided, and her son Justin and Diddy's other son Christian had guns point to him as the SWAT team was raiding the house
and
whatever.
Firearms. And
so they talked about the allegations that Diddy got up against him as far as drugs and guns and the sex trafficking and all of those things or whatever. So I'm gonna kind of skim through this because I can't play like none of the footage. So I'm gonna just kind of like just play like a little snip of each segment that of each part we talk
these
about.
allegations are true. Why did it take so long for others to speak out?
So this is him Harvey asking her, Aubrey O'Day, why it took people so long to speak out. And she's basically saying like the same things we was kind of saying, that people were scared to speak out at the time because Puff, was in the position of power where, he had very important people, that he was dealing with. So a lot of people was kind of like scared to speak out because they felt their life might have been threatened, or, the same thing that the Kid Cudi nigga basically said his car exploded and all that, things like that. Those type of things, those things of that nature.
From top to bottom left.
All right, so let's go ahead and skim through this, John, because I don't know where
others who recently filed lawsuits against Diddy.
All right. So yeah, of course they talked about Little Rod, um, Little Rod paperwork and all the things he accused Diddy of working with him for the past year or whatever, 2000, I think 2002 to 2003, something like that.
Multi-agencies involved. It tells me that there's something that we perhaps do not know yet.
So they bringing in some law enforcement and lawyers and all that, pretty much talking about why they came for Diddy so heavy, no Diddy, and they basically saying he holding on to some evidence of very important people on tapes and stuff like that, like over the years, like over the course of 20 something years. They saying he got tapes and all that with very important people on there and things of that nature. So
stunning down.
All right, so let's come
by
kind of
authorities and released.
All right, so they actually talks about the drug guy that got arrested at the airport when Diddy was about to get on the plane or whatever. They talked about that guy, and y'all pretty much already know the story with that. You know what I
The
mean?
encounter. I guess you wonder.
All right, so let's kind of go through this, skim through this,
But I'm chill now.
So they actually took footage from a lot of people. Breakfast Club, I seen footage from Tasha K, Art of Dialogue. They pretty much like just gathered clips from all the people that conducted interviews with the people that's close to Diddy or whatever. So all right, so we gonna go through this.
Diddy's on and off again girlfriend.
So of course they brought up Cassie and saying how scared Cassie was when she was dating Diddy, and the things he had her doing as far as like the freak offs and going to other countries and having her sleep with all the stuff that was mentioned in that paperwork or whatever that she put out there, all her accusations.
Diddy's on and off again heads to kind.
So he dated Cassie for 10 years on and off. I don't even remember when they even had breakups and none of that. I thought they was always on for the whole 10 years, but I guess some people in this documentary confirmed that they was, on and off. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. So let's kind of go through this. Trying to
Her to carry a gun in her purse.
yeah, so that's when they mentioned that Diddy made Cassie carry a gun in her purse, and that's the same thing, they said him and J-Lo, he had J-Lo carry a burner in her purse as well. So they saying the same thing with Cassie, that she carried guns in her purse for Brother Love.
Rapper Kid Cudi during.
So yeah, they talked about Kid Cudi, the car explosion when Diddy found out Kid Cudi was used to date Cassie, and he said he got jealous and sent threats about blowing his car up, and then Kid Cudi saying, yeah, my car got blown up outside of my home. So let's kind of go through this. I'm trying to
going on to accuse Combs of uncontrollable rage.
Yeah, they break down and basically saying that Diddy got an anger problem, and he was full of rage, and this is when they brought Mark Curry in, to confirm some of this stuff, because Mark Curry, wrote a lot of songs for Diddy and worked with him in the studio, was signed to Bad Boy and all that stuff.
Of abuse, including.
So of course they accused of abuse and all that. So let me see if I can get to the Mark Curry part. All right, here go Lamont Hill. I just seen a part with Lamont Hill.
Once Cassie files that civil suit, now people feel like it's not rumor or innuendo.
All right, so he pretty much breaks down the Cassie lawsuit against Diddy, where he had to pay up millions to her.
Biggest legal blunders of.
All right, so I'm trying to get to some parts without getting playing it too long to get copyright striked, and I don't want to be getting striked and all that, or copyright for all this.
TikTok went crazy, and
so I'm trying to get through this, y'all. Y'all got
radars.
Y'all got to pardon me for pausing and stopping. For y'all that's content creators, y'all understand what I'm talking about.
He looks more guilty than he did had he just settled behind closed doors from.
All right, so Lamont Hill basically says in this that Diddy looks even more guilty because he settled the case with Cassie. So he settled the settlement with Cassie so fast, and then should have handled it behind the scenes, but instead he handled it out in the open. Should have, so he's basically saying made them look even more guilty.
Suddenly, it was like everyone was just coming out of the woodwork.
All right, so I'm trying to get through this show without playing.
And that Cassie found the strength to use her voice and speak her truth.
All right, trying to get through this show.
Dickerson Neal claimed Diddy drugged and sexually assaulted her.
All right, so they talks about Diddy, sexually assaulting her and drugging her and keeping her drugged up. Yeah, I mean the whole time they was dating.
Another very serious lawsuit.
And they brought up some other lawsuits that he has against him as
In
well.
December 2020.
I'm trying to get through this show.
That's my money. Everybody's an extortionist. That's not.
All right, so Lamont Hill talks about that a lot of people ain't come forward just in case Diddy does come from under this. No, Diddy and actually beats all these different allegations and charges that that's against him and all that. He's basically saying people don't want to speak up because if he does so happen to beat this, then they're going to get blackballed, and they're afraid of getting blackballed and outed. I mean, just in case by chance, if he was to come from under all these allegations and pretty much get back in the game and become a power figure again, that he would start outing some of these people that spoke up. So he basically said like, if you strike at the king, you better not miss, because you know what's going to happen after that. So that's pretty much what Lamont Hill is saying, why other people is not really speaking out like that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, trying to get through this, y'all. All right, so they bring up Little Rod again, and his dealings with Diddy and working in the studio on the Love album, and the things he said he encountered with Diddy, and the things Diddy was saying about, bragging about shooting a woman in the face, in that whole club incident back in 1999.
Starting in 2022.
And he talks about they talk about, the Lil Rod saying he got sexually assaulted or touched or whatever. So
Jones claims he has irrefutable evidence depicting, among
other
things,
so they talk about the evidence that that Little Rod is pretty much implementing Diddy in and all that.
He denies the claim.
So of course they bring up 50 Cent and the things he's been saying on social media as far as trolling Diddy. Every 50 Cent's going to troll Diddy every chance he get because of the Daphne situation. You know what I mean? With him, with Diddy dating his baby mama Daphne. So
And he came forward.
All right, so I'm trying to get through this without playing too much, because you know how they is about these contents.
That's all I can say.
So they go into Stevie J. Harvey asked Stevie J about the paperwork, and Little Rod lying and saying that was Stevie J and some gay sex, that picture that was supposedly Stevie J. And Stevie J basically said that wasn't me. The actual gay guy from that porno scene actually spoke out and said that was me. That wasn't even Stevie J in that picture. So the gay porn guy actually spoke up on behalf of that. So kind of debunked that with Little Rod and all that. So
Who is under?
So yeah, that's the picture right there. It's kind of flashed it a little bit, but yeah. And that's the guy that spoke out on his behalf or whatever. So
Count him out just yet. Diddy has dodged.
Combs testified.
So Diddy is actually asking, for them to he's challenging those accusations from the sex trafficking and all that. He's basically asking his lawyer to get the judge to throw that out. So, and that was just recently, yesterday, that was an article came out about
Who
that.
showed up was nearly twice the capacity.
All right.
Broke case.
All right. So they talk about, you know, the woman that was shot in the club in 1999, you know, with the whole Shine incident and all that, and her actually saying Diddy was the one that shot her. You know what
Police
I mean?
say after the shooting, Puff
So I'm trying to get through this.
and has described it.
So you already know she spoke out and said she's willing to, you know, give up evidence to, you know, reopen the case back up for her incident. She's saying she still got 9 bullet fragments in her face, so she's willing to do surgery to actually get one of those bullet fragments removed to match the ballistics of the guns that was used that night. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, so all right, so this coming up on Mark Curry.
It says Diddy definitely has an ugly side.
All right, so they interviewed Mark Curry. They brought Mark Curry up.
What I have to get
To ask Mark Curry about Diddy's temperament, and then they asked, is he the type of guy that has a really outrageous temper? So Mark Curry pretty much confirmed that Diddy has a crazy temper, and you know,
where let's say if
so he asked, so Harvey asked Mark Curry, was Diddy abusive towards Kim Porter, and he kind of said, yeah, but he didn't witness anything out in the open. So Mark Curry said it's more so, you know what I mean, they were getting into a bad argument. Then the next day, you know, she would have like something on her nose, or like her nose would be broke, and she'd make up the excuse saying, you know, I fell and tripped and fell on a yacht or something, and I hit my nose, and things of that nature. So that's what Mark Curry said, you know, he witnessed with Diddy.
Kim said she fell on the boat and broke her nose.
So there you go. You see, he's explaining that in this. So
he was really mad and
like big hair though.
All right, so then it gets into Aubrey O'Day with the Danny DeCane situation on there, and she kind of talks about the things that, you know, they was going through when they was, you know, when they was the reality show, and a lot of arguments they was getting into on the show was a reflection of, you know, her saying Diddy was controlling them 100%, like trying to control them or whatever. So
they start to let you know what's wrong with you.
So she pretty much saying Diddy used to grill her all the time because, you know, it felt like that she was slacking on a lot of things he was asking them to do. So they basically saying he was constantly drilling them all the time about something. No Diddy.
On national television and
on national,
communities, but it's
right on national TV.
Place where you will be able to.
So I'm trying to get through this, y'all, without playing too much.
Which is incredible because it's
all right, so there they asked, she brought up.
With your music.
All right, so they asked her about when Diddy gave all the artists they publishing back, and she was basically saying that publishing that she got the same offer, but it was kind of a bargaining thing where Diddy was using. She was saying Diddy was using that as a tactic to get them not to speak up about the things that was to come. So all these things, so Diddy knew ahead of time that all these allegations was coming out. You know what I mean? On the back channel or things before the general population knew. So him making that move, saying he was giving all the artists to publish back, she was saying it was to basically silence them and not to speak out, pretty much.
Music or with any of these parties listed.
So she's saying the offer she got, the money only accumulated to up to like the $390 something or something like that. Like pretty much they publishing ain't worth nothing. Danny DeCane's publishing ain't worth nothing. Or any of the songs she might have written for that album, or it's worth nothing. You know what I mean?
Financially again. In fact,
so it pretty much pennies on a dollar.
Isn't a man that was reformed.
Yep, so all right.
Put it in his.
Given all the new allegations.
So I'm kind of trying to skim through this, y'all. I'm not trying to get no type of copyright strike. Okay, so now they bring up Justin Bieber in this documentary as well. They kind of implemented a lot of TikTok videos of people responding to, you know, the Diddy videos that came out with Diddy and Justin Bieber and him spending time over there at Diddy Flavor Camp, like Usher. So of course they brought up the Usher thing as well and played the clip from Howard Stern and Diddy pretty much taking on Usher when he was 13-year-old, no Diddy, 14-year-old, you know what I mean? And now fast forward and he started working with Justin Bieber, you know, to help Justin Bieber to produce his album, in which Justin Bieber was signed to Usher at that time. So of course they brought those things.
They're all my, partners and whatnot.
So yeah, they brought up this video of Diddy asking Justin, why you don't hang out with me no more, and him looking like he was scared. And
he was just 13. His manager sent him.
So they brought up this again, and they even showed an old throwback of Usher when he was a young boy, 13, 14. So of course they bring that up, and the things that he witnessed, you know, being around Diddy at that age, which he shouldn't have been seeing none of that. Him being 13 and 14, he shouldn't have been around all that grown activity. You know what I mean? Like Diddy should have had this nigga, had him a nanny or something to separate him from all that, seeing all that. So I pretty much feel like that was a grooming situation with Usher. You know what I mean? Allegedly a grooming situation with Usher, man.
Is Joe?
Yeah. So let's go ahead, Fat.
I'm saying he's just
What he's been.
All right. So then they brought up R. Kelly and his dealings, and the things that he did while he was in the industry and how he was convicted, 20 years later. Things we've been saying.
The radio silence.
Yeah, they brought up a lot of things in this documentary, man.
In his defense.
So of course they brought up Ray J when he spoke on it. With TMZ ran up on Ray J. Ray J pretty much saying, "I've been praying for everybody." And
they took out his house. They have a whole bunch of images.
So this is Mark Curry explaining to TMZ in this interview that they took a whole lot of videotapes and images from Puffy's home when they raided his home. I don't know if they found anything yet because the man ain't in handcuffs. He's not in handcuffs yet. So if they did find things and they kind of combing through that, I mean, we ain't saying it's too late, but they haven't found anything that was warranting them to go arrest him right away. You know what I mean?
In there.
So yeah, they take a clip from Art of Dialogue with Big Gene on there, pretty much saying all the people that might be on them tapes, from judges, the preachers, talking about swallowed that man and politicians and all that on them tapes.
You name it, he's connected to them. And
all right, so let's go forward.
there is an interesting contradiction.
I don't want to play too much of this.
At the same time, those very same voices.
All right, so let's skim.
Whole lot of fucking men. There's people wrapping up their business.
All right, so that's more,
has many enemies. I'm afraid that if I give.
All right, so this is a part where this person was actually supposed to come out and speak on Diddy's behalf for this documentary, and they wrote TMZ back and said they don't want to speak out at all. You know what I mean? Even taking up for Diddy, they still didn't want to speak out because they was in fear of that. Diddy has a lot of enemies after him, that he would become a target for speaking up for Diddy, pretty much. So I don't know who this person was. They never disclosed the name of who this person was, but they showed
thoughts on what I.
So they pretty much showed the DMs of the correspondent back and forth with TMZ and the person. So this person pretty much is.
I may be ruled a target.
Yeah, so this person said, "I'm worried Diddy has many enemies. I'm afraid that if I give my thoughts on what I experienced, I may be ruled a target." And that's pretty much that. That can be so. You know what I'm saying? That could be so. So
and Suge's death row.
So they get into Suge Knight's interview on here as well. So
And producers.
he pretty much asked Suge about his encounters with Diddy, and Suge basically saying, I'm not the type of nigga that kick a man while he down. So Suge shows some type of empathy for Diddy by saying, I know he's in all these trouble, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna speak no ill will on him while he's down. I'm not gonna kick that man while he's down. And I kind of respect Suge. Suge always been that type of nigga anyway. Throughout the years and the interviews we've been seeing, he ain't really been on that type of kick with
all in the video.
I ain't pretty much had enough beef with the nigga Diddy anyway.
Most successful art.
So of course they get into Suge's background and the whole thing that happened with Tupac and and all that. So
everybody know what's been going on.
So that's Suge. They keep speaking with Suge.
All right, my reaction.
And I think this is the audio they already had put out. This situation was taught when they talked to Suge over the phone.
Him.
So we could kind of go past that.
All right.
I'm trying to see what else did they.
Trying
to see if I missed anything else, y'all.
And Paul.
So pretty much all this stuff, pretty much all these things they talked about in this documentary, is things that already been said, things that are already have came out, and they pretty much just got people on there to interview them to confirm some of these things that came out about Diddy, as far as when dating Cassie and the whole, they pretty much just rehashed everything throughout the years and all these things that recently happened with his homes being raided and these new allegations
against Diddy in federal court, even if.
So they talks about if Diddy was to ever get a charge federal, that these people might come forward and testify in court based off of give their testimony. We already heard Big Gene say in the Art of Dialogue interview that he's willing to testify against Diddy if that's the case. You know what I'm saying?
And if she does,
I'm pretty sure they would get subpoena if they will reopen that case back up with the Natalia, the woman that got shot in the club back in '99. I'm pretty sure they will be subpoenaing people from around that time too, like J-Lo and and those things like that. So
about Diddy. That.
So this pretty much, I'm gonna pretty much conclude this. Y'all could come over here to Tubi TV and watch it yourself. You already know it's free to watch it. TMZ presents The Downfall of Diddy. You know what I mean? So this is gonna conclude my recap of this. Make sure y'all smash that like button and share this and subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't, man, make sure you come over to nightanddayNetmarket.com and shop with us. Get the TCT oil. That's actually almost sold out. For y'all that's been waiting for the hair growth oil, it's back on the shop. We stocked back up. You know what I mean? We slowly putting the products back on here that, that was taken off of here. Now we're stocking everything back up. Everything is getting stocked back up. We got a whole new line of hair care products coming soon. That's going to be, we're going to flood y'all with all natural products. You know what I mean? So, fellas, we got the moisturizer for y'all beards. You know what I mean? Ladies, we got the wigs on here for y'all. You know what I mean? The Brazilian bundles. This ain't no regular, just cheap wigs and all that. We made sure we put the best, you know what I mean, Jones on here. So, y'all can come over here and support that as well. We also got 90-day CBD, 25% off. The lotion, the pre-rolls, the sticks, the cigarettes. You know what I mean? We will be getting the edibles back on here soon too. You know what I mean? So we also put the t-shirts back on here. So getting ready for the warm weather. Y'all want to get y'all a nice t-shirt with some great, artwork on there, some great statements on there. Definitely head over to nightanddayNetmarket.com and get your t-shirts. And on that note, man, it's your boy JR Curry, and I'm up out of here. Peace.